Any slaughtering going on right now?
I have no idea. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. So that's not a no. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You know, why are all those ducks there and geese?
Thank you so much. No comment.
Okay, then. This farm is allegedly carrying out illegal halal slaughter, but why is calling it out an example of Islamophobia? David Menzies for Rebel News here in the Bowmanville area of Clarington, Ontario. And folks, I'm standing outside a farm that has become quite notorious in the last several weeks. And the reason for the notoriety is that this farm is allegedly providing halal slaughtered meat to consumers. But get this, numerous residents claim that this slaughterhouse is operating illegally. And perhaps even worse, the authorities are not doing anything about shutting down this farm because doing so might be considered culturally insensitive. And I'm with John Mutton. John is a former mayor of Clarington, and he's been an outspoken critic of this facility. Now, for starters, John, I understand the owner of this facility, another twist to this story, is Moshe Bayouin. I hope I pronounced that name right. And he once ran as a candidate for the Conservative Party of Canada. I know he is claiming publicly there is no illegal slaughtering going on here and that the family is being unfairly targeted. What's your side of the story?
Well, I first heard about this, about 4 weeks ago. Increasingly, huge number of the members of the public came to me and said, the municipality aren't doing anything. There's this illegal slaughterhouse. So I looked into it and I did a zoning analysis, and they weren't zoning as an abattoir or a slaughterhouse. We also looked up and see if there's any business registration as a halal meat distributor or slaughterhouse, and there isn't. And then the on Facebook Marketplace, and you can do a search, and where can you buy halal chickens, geese, and ducks, and it said this place here. And it also had, the owners were advertising, come pick up your fresh meat, ducks, chickens, and geese here.
And John, indeed, you did send an image of that advertisement of the halal slaughtered animals. So if they're not doing the slaughtering on site, where is this meat coming from?
Well, I believe it's being done on site. I know that there's been photos that are going to be released of what I say are feathers and epidermis from ducks and chickens. There's photos online of people grabbing the duck that they want to be slaughtered. It's absolutely horrendous. There were the slaughter suits that were hung over the fence being washed the other day. Again, there's public image and reports of all of this legitimately. Because
of the identity politics of the person running this farm, you can break the rules, and if you call them out, it's Islamophobia?
It should concern every person who cares about the threat of Islamophobic conspiracies in this country. It should concern every Canadian regardless of politics or religion. What started as a series of online Islamophobic conspiracy theories has transformed and grown into real-life harassment campaigns, protests, and threats, as we will explain. Mohsen and other farmers in the area are not operating a slaughterhouse. They are not practicing animal cruelty. Yet false accusations have made their lives a living hell.
Well, I'm really upset about that because I didn't even know when someone first reported who lived here. I didn't care what race or religion they were. I was concerned about the illegal slaughterhouse. And I do zoning and official plans and such like that for a living. So when I came out and I took a look at the property, and I seen an illegal pond expansion that hasn't been investigated by the Conservation Authority. I see an illegal clear cut of trees that hasn't been investigated. I see illegal outbuildings that have been erected without permit. And the municipality have now said, yes, you have 2 illegal buildings that have been built without permits, but we're going to give you a chance to apply for a permit.
Retroactively.
Retroactively.
Is that common?
No, it's not common.
Yeah.
It's not. That usually get an order to comply, especially when it's structurally unsafe. Yeah. And what they did do is that there was a cleanup the other night, of which residents sent numerous photos of, that there was a cleanup going on in what people believe to be the alleged kill area, the garage and the blue sea can. And so when the municipality came in, the comments were from the authorities, which were right, is that at point of entry, we don't see any evidence of an illegal slaughterhouse. The key words are at point of entry. That means at that particular time, of course, because they had cleaned it up. And there's no argument, and I think everyone is being playing the game really safe, especially the folks that investigated when you're saying point of entry, because we have the proof of their own ads marketing the halal meat. And I think if all those things were in place, licenses, zoning, and then we wouldn't have an issue, but they obviously don't have it, and they're not registered.
And John, another twist of this story, again, as I referenced, there was a press conference. The city got the media party out to, I think, to spin propaganda about this. Funny how we weren't invited. I had emails going back to the mayor several days ago, so they knew we were working on this story. Here's a couple of examples of headlines that just went up mere hours ago from the CBC. Muslim family living a nightmare after false accusations of slaughterhouse on Ontario hobby farm. And from City News, community leaders speak out as Muslim family faces alleged harassment in Clarington. So I find this astonishing that there's one particular narrative being driven by the mainstream media.
Well, yeah, it should never have got to that. It should never have got to anything to be of Islamophobia, race, or religion. Never should have. It was about illegal slaughterhouses. I don't care if they're white, black, purple, doesn't matter to me. However, out here, the case or cases just happen to be these folks. I didn't know that they were Muslims. I had no clue.
Yes.
And so that's the card that they pulled.
There was going to be a demonstration, and at basically the last minute, it was called off because of safety reasons. Your dog, 1-year-old, I think you announced on Facebook you were going out of town. Your mom was going to look after it, and it died, and we don't know how it died. Only 1-year-old. That's very unusual. I hope nobody poisoned it. But members of the demonstrators, they were getting threats. You said your mom received a threat. She's in her 80s. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we had, it was relayed to us, you better be careful with your mom walking to the corner. Mom's in great shape. She does, 2-kilometer walk every day. You better be careful about that. And several other online threats. So I'm not worried about myself, but I'm worried about my family. I can handle myself, believe me. I'm not worried about that. But when it came to my family, that's when I called off the protest. But, the fight will go on. And if you can see online that the public do not believe the mayor, they want to see this shut down. And you can see by his tremendous press conference yesterday of about 16 people, of which about 6 of them were press, that he doesn't have the support, and the owner doesn't have the support behind him regarding what he's doing.
That's very interesting. And we should point out, so we've got the authorities turning a blind eye and a deaf ear to this. We have the media party playing the Islamophobia narrative. And in the Department of Potential Lawfare, yesterday, the National Council of Canadian Muslims, they sent a letter, didn't they, John, threatening defamation. But, when I looked at their letter, I couldn't see what exactly the defamation was all about. But certainly they're putting libel chill on you. What did you make of that letter?
Well, I read the letter and I wondered if it was even written by anyone that had any legal experience in Canada at all. I looked at it and I thought that maybe I was going to rip it up and as a press stunt, but yeah, we've circulated to a lawyer. One of the candidates out here is named in the letter too. We circulated to a lawyer, and by the time the lawyer got cleaning up the water off his desk after he was laughing and spitting it out, I know that I'm not going to be spending any money on replying to that. It's not worth the paper it's printed on. They've put forward a motion regarding hate speech, and they're asking the Durham Regional Police to investigate hate speech and Islamophobia here. And
how does calling out an illegal slaughter facility meet the benchmark of hate speech and Islamophobia, John?
Well, it doesn't. And one of the things is that the mayor is totally unaware of how the Municipal Act, the Regional Municipal Act, and the Police Act work, because the council cannot direct the police department to do policing. Even the Police Services Board cannot direct the police department to do policing. The police do their own investigation based on their own complaints, and they have total autonomy over what they investigate and what they don't. And obviously, no one's breaking any laws here. I'm not Islamophobic. I'm not racist. Sure, you're going to see some people that are going to take those hardline comments on both sides, both the right wing and the left wing, and you got to take them as it is.
Yes, I can tell you I did reach out, as I said before, to the mayor, no response. I reached out to the Ministry of Natural Resources, which is responsible for slaughterhouses. Typically, no response there either. And CFIA, through their media relations line, they said to me in a statement they were not aware of illegal slaughterhouses, plural, but if it comes to their attention, there are ways and means in which they can get active. Hi, sir. How you doing?
Private property?
Oh, yes. I was just hoping to speak to Motion.
Sorry, he's not available to talk today.
He's not available?
No, I thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Okay, who would you be, by the way?
No comment. Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it.
Can you not touch me?
I'm sorry about that.
Okay, I see there is a media outlet here, though. Okay, so they're allowed to do an interview, but we're not?
Whatever the owner's been saying, that's what we're following. So thank you guys so much for coming out.
And has the owner said we're not allowed to be here?
They've just asked they've said this is a private property, so thank you so much as well.
Okay, well, why are they violating the private property?
Thank you so much.
Any slaughtering going on right now?
I have no idea. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay, so that's not a no. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You know, why are all those ducks there and geese?
Thank you so much. No comment.
Okay, then. So I'm just trying to get, sir, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I just want to get the farmer's side of the story.
Of course.
And
I think he said all the statements he needed to say yesterday, so thank you so much. Everything he said, said yesterday.
Then why are they here?
Thank you so much.
Well, that's not an answer.
Thank you.
Well, it's an answer, but it doesn't answer the question.
Thank you so much.
Motion, can we come and talk to you to get your side of the story, please? Oh, okay. He nodded yes. Let's see if he does that.
Yeah, so this is one of countless issues that the mayor and council has refused to take seriously. We've had a mayor who's been in office now for 16 years who has not addressed the important issues concerning residents. Actually, and we have had this council in for almost 4 years that does not want to take care of the issues concerning our community, whether it's rising unemployment, whether it's affordable housing, whether it's crumbling healthcare in our community. We need change. And that's what I'm hoping Clarington residents keep in mind when they go to the ballot boxes this October.
And you told me a disturbing story about another alleged slaughterhouse that we're going to visit in the minutes ahead, in which a cow was set on fire?
Yes, I had a firefighter come down to me, and I've heard about this one kind of like through the rumor mill, but I had a firefighter come down to me and he said, that property that you're looking at over on Salina Road, I was on the fire call, and there was actually a cow that was set on fire over there.
Hey folks, I know you love it when Rebel News brings you the other side of the story, but imagine this. What about getting a personalized message from a Rebel News personality? It could be to you, it could be to a loved one, it could be about a birthday, an anniversary, perhaps it's one of your sons or daughters graduating, you name it, we will customize it. And that includes yours truly, Sheila Gunn Reid, Alexa Lavoie, Drea Humphrey, and as they used to say on the first season of Gilligan's Island, and the rest. So please go to rebelshoutouts.com. That's rebelshoutouts.com, and order your customized message today. Well, folks, we drove about 25 minutes from the first halal, I guess, Sharia slaughterhouse, for lack of a better term, to a second one. Allegedly, halal slaughter is taking place here. And this is the farm John was talking about at our first pit stop regarding a cow being set on fire. John, what were the repercussions of that?
Well, I haven't heard any repercussions. So I had a firefighter that came down and visited me and said, I want to tell you about the property that everyone's been talking about and looking at over on Salina Road. And he says, with respect to animal cruelty, and the reports were that animals have been chained outside without shelter to brick walls. And he says and there were several reports of a very emaciated cow here. Well, the firefighter said we had a fire call at this site, and the cow was on fire. And it was just sickening when I heard about it. And what I don't know is why this didn't hit the media as part of the fire call briefing that they put forward and release as public information. And when you come over and take a look at the property, considering the animal cruelty that the residents and the farmers in this area have reported, the house is fortified.
Which is against the bylaws, right?
Against, yeah, the anti-fortification bylaw was brought in for gangs. Not today, but they have been flying a terrorist flag. Residents have photos of that, which they've uploaded. And we can also see that they have derelict vehicles, tires. There's a whole property standards issue here on site. I don't know where bylaw is.
I was just about to ask you that question. Where is bylaw?
Those vehicles should be cleaned up or towed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I was mayor, we had quite a few of these properties that would end up like this. They wouldn't have illegal slaughterhouses, but what would happen is there would be a court order, and then they would go in and they'd clean it up and put it on the tax roll.
Well, we're doing a story. This is an illegal slaughterhouse operation here, officer. Also, numerous bylaws being broken, fortification of the property, illegal vehicle storage, tire storage, and we're just doing a story about these illegal operations. And I have no idea why you officers are being called. I would assume with the crime wave in the GTA these days, you got better things to do, eh?
I can't speak to why we were called. I think they caught people outside with the cameras and stuff and working.
Sure.
So you weren't on the property at any point or anything?
We can't get on the property. It's completely fortified. And nor would we go on it unless they invited us, right?
Fair enough.
Yep. Okay. All right. Good luck. So this is fascinating. And by the way, I want to tip my hat to the Durham Regional Police. We have 4 officers trying to educate this agitated lady that we have every right to film from the road. She disputes that. Meanwhile, again, the chutzpah, all the bylaws being broken, including the fortified fencing. And remember, she's the one that called the cops. And of course, fortified fencing aside, this is where a cow was set on fire, really? And they called the cops. Talk about sheer unmitigated gall. Hi, ma'am. Would you like to be interviewed? My name's... No? We heard about a cow being set on fire on this property. Right. How many animals have you slaughtered on this property illegally? You're free to film me, but I would much rather we have an interview. In any event, this is how far we'll go to get the other side of the story. I have an envelope with several questions for Mohsen, and I'm going to put it in his mailbox. By the way, the mailman just dropped by and he gave me this junk mail to put in too. But anyways, let's see. There we go. Okay. In any event, folks, I have dropped off my list of questions. I doubt we'll get an answer, but I remain hopeful. I've given him a deadline in which to respond. But I think we've done everything possible to get his side of the story. And all these questions I asked, these questions could have been asked by the mainstream media. But they won't. They didn't. Why? Well, folks, we have made the trip to Clarington City Hall. And days ago, I sent several queries to the mayor of Clarington and to the Clarington Media Relations Department. I never heard back. We talked to a lady with media relations, and she said no one is available to come on camera, and that, well, basically everything they have to say about the situation has been said in a statement, which she is hopefully going to email to me. In any event, I know, unlike the mainstream media, I was asking some insensitive questions. Unfortunately, the really sad thing is Motion doesn't even appear to realize he's being used. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, I know you love it when Rebel News gives you the other side of the story. This story is a perfect example. The mainstream media welcomed with open arms. We're kicked to the curb. But you know what? We need your help. Could you kindly go to rebelfieldreports.com? That's rebelfieldreports.com. Unlike the mainstream media, we do not get a single nickel from the Mark Carney Liberals. If you can make a donation, if you're able to, we would greatly appreciate that.